So I want to just see what's going on, make sure that there are no like tragedies that are going on basically. And this is where you'll kind of get an idea of like, you know, if you're going to get a really good result or not. So we'll pick it all up and I'm just going to check one of my long ones. Hopefully that's going to stay there for me. Tip her over a little bit. All right, now let's see. I have got no idea what's going to be in here. The fact that it's mannequin hair, I mean, it could, I don't even know if it's human hair. I'm about to find out. Yes, that is it. That is what we want. That's what we want to see. I mean, it's not blonde yet. It's very orange, but hey, that's progress, low and slow. So we know that that's going to be fine to be tucked up and left for another hour while I finish the front. Easy. But you just want to continually check, you know, just like every 20 minutes, just go back and check. And if you are concerned, pull that hair, you know, give it a good tug and just check its elasticity, check that it's okay. But we know we've got Olaplex in there too, and we've just used bleach and Tenbol, so we're taking calculated risks. And I'm still on my Tenbol, as I mentioned. I'm going to do a little bit of a section here and on the other side, both with 10 volt. Then I'm going to bump up to 20 because we don't want to overdo these fragile sections here above the ear. We don't want any breakage. Oh, that was her hair tie.
Can we put it on her?
No, we can't put it on her. Now, a lot of the times when I'm working on these side sections, I'll take it on a little bit of an angle. I mean, it's completely up to you depending on how you want it to look. It's a bit hard on a mannequin. They don't really have a hairline as such, but I'm just, the whole way through, I'm just repeating the same process of one, tease one, weave one. All right, that's gonna look really weird because we've got a very unnatural, like, look how thick this bit of hair is. No one's hair is that thick. I'll take a really fine, small section here. Like, no one would have hair this thick on their sideburn. You'll probably notice I'm taking it in a little higher around the face. I just like to do that with my balayage. Always like to just go in a little closer, just around that hairline, you know, get some extra lightness. I think saturation is like really key with this. You really need to be like super thorough. It's basically a double application. I put it on first with my hands, spread it around, and then I come back and reapply it even more. So you can see how far in I am now. I'm about that far. So I've only done a few foils in there, and that is that real like fragile part here of the sideburn. So that's where I've put my 10 vol. Now I'm going to stop from here. I'm not going to go any higher with this. I'm going to come around to the other side and I'm going to repeat that same process and go about that high up as well, because I'm still using my 10 volt, and that's where I want my 10 volt to be, is just on those fragile parts, because we're being careful because we know that those are more fragile. So I'm going to leave there, come back over here, do that. Then I'm going to go up to my 20 volt and come back over to this side. So I'm kind of swapping. This helps even everything out. So I am about 3 bowls of bleach in. Sorry, I don't know why the light keeps going weird. It's very bright. Anyway, I'm 3 bowls of bleach in. Each time I've mixed up about 30 grams of bleach to, and I've gone 1 to 2. So 30 grams of bleach to 60 grams of developer with 10 bowl. Sorry, I had to think then. And I've done this whole thing here has been with 10 bowl, and these 2 sides have been with 10 bowl, and now I'm going to go ahead and start with my 20, and I'm just swapping as I go to just kind of help even out the processing time. So bumping up to 20 now. This is the point where I'm usually going to change my angle. Let me show you. So I've just kind of come up to here, right? This corner in the hairline. From here, I'm going to change my angle and I'm going to start kind of going like this from the front. I will show you that when I get to it, but before I move to that last section, I'm going to do the same part here on the other side because I'm really being aware of keeping my processing times like even. And I have upped it to 20 vol now. I've got a little bit stuck there. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just complete that on this side, then I'll show you how I do the top. Something I might just address is see how I kind of coil that up in the end. I know it's probably not ideal how I do that, but I'll just explain to you the reason I do it. In this scenario, the reason I do it is because I want to leave that bit of the end of the foil with nothing on it so that when I fold, I'm not going to get cross-contamination, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's no bleach on that. So when I go like this and I shut it, this isn't like a whole bit of bleach isn't going to end up on that part, you know what I mean? So there's always a little bit of method to my madness. I didn't realise I've actually come in a bit higher than I usually would with this, so it's a bit thinner than I'd usually leave it, but for argument's sake, it will do. So now I change the angle when I get to the top, and this is going to be through the part. So this is how I do the front, and I'll probably do a few extra, like finer ones in the front as well, because everyone wants that money piece, you know. And I remember her part was like in here too. So I'm going to, you know, hit that kind of like that, and the part will be in the middle of the foils. So these will be those money pieces. What I might do is just 2 foils rather than like a weave and a tease. I'm going to do just 2 highlights. And I might just feather one. You'll see what I mean. First one's just really nice and close. Probably could have done with some longer foil than this, but oh well. Get that nice and close. That was my first one in there, nice and tight. And my second one, I might just feather it a little. See, it's still nice and close. Just to give that nice light money piece kind of effect. And for the record, I'm about to mix up my 5th bowl of bleach. We made it. We're finished. That took me about 2.5 hours. I am going to fast forward this clip for you so that you don't have to suffer for 2.5 hours. Now, when I get to this point with my client, I'll always just, you know, fold these out of the way because she starts disappearing under all those foils. And this is how I tackle pretty much all of my like blonde transformations that are usually intended for vivid work that I do. So there is some serious foliage going on in here. It is really heavy to hold. It does kind of hurt your client's neck after a while. Now, when I'm finished again, I will just go back through and check, see how those ends are on the back. And quite often by the time I'm finished the front, the back is ready to come out. If not, sometimes I will apply some heat just with my hairdryer, just like going through every foil individually. If that's not enough and the hair is really strong and handling it really well, what I'll quite often do is actually go back, remix more fresh bleach, 20 vol, and I'll actually open up these foils and I'll reapply and go back through them for like a second round. That's when things start taking about 8 hours. On a good day, I can get this done in 6. That's the bleaching process and the coloring process. So it's usually between 6 and 8 hours.